What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, as you can see, I'm back home, which feels fantastic, and I'm ready to dive into a ton more Splinterlands content and hopefully some live streaming again very soon. That being said, I have been diving into content other than my own, trying to catch up on a lot of stuff while I was out of town. And I got to give a big shout out to the People's Guild podcast, B. Jangles, and Fat Jimmy for co-hosting the conversation with Crypto Eater, in which I think a lot of people were referencing in the comments. Crypto Eater had a couple of proposals for vouchers that he's not yet put out there. He's still working on the drafts. But it's a fantastic conversation. I highly recommend you go listen to it. And what I will say, just as a quick kind of like summary of them, in order to get along to the point of my video, is I like where he's coming from. He has two proposals, one of which is to remove vouchers entirely. The second of which is to make vouchers soulbound. Now, at the end of the day, I don't really like vouchers. The thing is, I get a lot of them, so it makes for easy kind of passive liquidity in terms of earnings that I can either use as ice cream money or I can go and buy cards with or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, I very much buy into Crypto Eater's argument that vouchers are essentially taking utility away from DEC. I mean, I've said so in the past. If vouchers were not giving, everybody half off, they would have to spend the appropriate amount of DEC. And the fact is that we print vouchers infinitely, right? So there's 40,000 printed a day. And I think Crypto Eater did the math previously and said that, that comes out to like, I don't know, 2 million DEC a day, if I'm remembering that correctly, if you value vouchers at 50 DEC per voucher. Again, my math might be fuzzy there, but point being is that we're printing an infinite amount. And when you give vouchers the same utility as DEC, well, obviously you're going to take away that utility and demand from DEC, which takes away utility and demand from SPS. So I like both proposals. Again, we haven't seen the finalized versions of them. I'm not, at this point, I would probably lean towards voting for them because I think we do need drastic changes. But in the interest of just putting stuff out there, because I've heard many folks that are not necessarily for those ideas, I wanted to put together a couple of different thoughts and ideas for what we could do with vouchers instead. Because one of the biggest arguments against what Crypto Eater is trying to do, which again, I agree with him in theory, but a lot of folks just feel like there was a promise given that vouchers would be this awesome thing, and to completely get rid of them, just remove, it's just a promise that's not delivered. And I know there's plenty of those to go around. But the thing is, at the end of the day, vouchers could still be phenomenal, right? They were supposed to be an access token, not a coupon. Nobody cares about coupons. We all never really use them unless they're super, super convenient. But an access token, a VIP pass, that is what vouchers were supposed to be. And it's really, in my opinion, just the fact that they are overprinted and then undersold in a sense. Matt did a good job in terms of increasing the demand for them with Rebellion by upping the count to 5 vouchers per pack in order to get that discount. But ultimately, there's still just not enough demand for vouchers. So there's two ideas that I want to present forward here. The first one, I apologize. I know I read this or heard it somewhere. It's not my idea, but I think it is really interesting. I just worry about I worry about the implementation, especially because of the fact that I don't know how many decimal places we can go. And, I think vouchers really only go to 3 decimal places on Hive. And at a certain point, it could be, it could be almost like nothing, which would be a problem. And so let me get to it. Having a max supply for vouchers. So let's just jump in. I'll be going back and forth between a couple of tabs here. So let's go into vouchers for a minute. Let's see here, and you can see that we have 12 million vouchers currently in circulation. What if we decided that maybe there shouldn't be more than 10 million or 7 million or 6 million, whatever it is, right? We could choose, and again, the vouchers are distributed by the DAO, so this is under the purview of the DAO. We could choose that if there are over, right, or if we have at or above a certain amount of vouchers, and let's just say it's something simple like 5 million, right? And again, I'm just pulling that number out. There would be no vouchers printed until and unless the voucher circulating supply went below that. Now, again, I really like that idea, okay? But the issue then becomes, okay, well, if we are going to print vouchers, what happens if we get to like 4,999,999? Well, okay, at that point, you could just wait until you get down to the 40,000 below whatever the cap is. So let's say it's 5 million. So you go 40,000 below that. Then you print, right, a day's worth, at which point you give to everybody that is owed one. And then I guess you kind of avoid the decimal problem, which I was worried about. So there is that option, which I personally really like, because we would start to eat through vouchers and there would not be this unlimited printing. There would just be this max cap, and the team would always know what, roughly how many vouchers there are out there and could price things appropriately for specific events, which is exactly what we wanted it to be, right? It's just like, hey, there's only ever going to be 5 million vouchers at a time. You can't just hold on to them, right? They're not bridged to other chains, so people can't do any kind of funny business with that. But you can just either hold on to them, you can use them, whatever the case is, and then at a point in time, it's just like, hey, there's a promo card coming out. If you don't have your vouchers already, then you got to buy them from, somebody that's holding one of the 5 million that's currently out there. And if there's not 5 million, if people keep using them, well, then we keep printing daily, which again is a good problem to have. Now, the other one is a little bit more in depth, but I was trying to think of like, okay, at the end of the day, vouchers were created to provide some kind of, awesome exclusive access. And so the first thought that came to mind was, okay, we have these promo cards that the team sells, which is fine, but there's also an opportunity for the DAO to get involved in that promo card aspect. Now, the team sells these promo cards in the hopes of generating revenue. The DAO could pay the team, right? The DAO could pay the team. And my hope is that it wouldn't be as expensive as doing like a mini set or a core set or something like that, but it would provide the team with enough capital to make it worth their while, that they could provide just four cards, right? Promo cards throughout the year. Now, I went through and I was running some math, and again, my math here, these are just rough numbers to work with. So let's actually go back here. Oh, dang it. Okay, so my bot's running. Let me go back to the market real quick. Okay. So I was looking at, what's a good rarity for this. And Epic is always weird because it's so difficult to level up. There's you need 46 BCX to max. And it's just the oddball out of all the rarities. So I was looking at this. I'm like, okay, we have this promo, Halfling Alchemist that came out, a while ago. And it's sitting at $20 a pop. Now, I don't think anybody here would pay $20 a BCX for a Halfling Alchemist. Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. But looking at, where the Rebellion packs are at right now, sorry, Rebellion Epics, I should say, the highest one here is going for $2.65. So again, I'm just playing with numbers here. It doesn't have to be perfect. But you could technically maybe, get the argument or make the argument to sell one for $3, right? And let's go away from this page so it's not getting too crazy. So this is what I want to work with here. You have 40,000 vouchers that get printed a day, right? Times 365, that means 14.6 million vouchers are printed throughout the course of the year. Now, let's assume there's no other demand for vouchers, even though there are, right? When you buy a pack, you can get the discount. When you can use them for energy, you can use them for a bunch of other things. But if we wanted to eat through this and have it be where in order to get, one of these exclusive promo cards, it only charged you in vouchers and like a significant amount of vouchers as well, that could be something interesting, right? That's all I'm going to say. It could be something interesting because now people would need vouchers. You can't use DEC, you can't use anything else. You have to actually go and get vouchers. Now, what value does that add to the ecosystem? Not much, right? Because we're not burning DEC, it's not activating the flywheel, but it does give vouchers something to do, and that demand is completely separate, right? Granted, we're taking it away entirely from DEC, but the team is also getting compensated for this from the DAO. So the one thing to consider with this is that this would probably need to be a yearly thing that the DAO would and should be able to afford in order to keep vouchers in line, right? These are exclusive cards that come through. They are not meta breaking, but hopefully an important part of the meta and highly desirable. So you take this 14.6 million, and let's just table that for a second, right? I was saying $3 a pop per BCX, which gets you, a little bit under $150 for a max copy. Is that too much? Is that too little? Who's going to pay for that? I don't know. I'm just looking at the current cards right now, the Rebellion cards that are, available for sale, and pricing a promo card slightly higher. I don't think that that's actually outside the realm of possibility. So you take this $3, you divide it by 0.05, right? Because we're valuing vouchers for most things now at 5 cents a piece, and that gives you 60 vouchers per BCX. So let's go back to the 14,600,000, right? Divide that by 60 vouchers per BCX, and now we're printing 243,000 BCX total across 4 cards. So let's divide that by 4 cards now. here we are, 60,000 BCX printed per card. Okay. Now, is that a lot? Is that a little? Well, we can go through and try to get a better idea. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but Halfling Alchemist, it says that there's 1.4 million BCX printed for Halfling Alchemist. That seems wild. This seems more in line to 12,000, but whatever. Let's just ignore that for now and look at some of the other epic cards out there. So if we go down to Chaos Legion, for example, where is Chaos Legion? Not the Chaos Legion reward cards, because those are overprinted, but the Chaos Legion, yeah, so like Forgotten One, Dax Paradon, like it's half of that, right? So 60,000 versus the roughly 120,000 that's out there. And keep in mind, there's still 2-point-something million unopened Chaos Legion packs, so there will be more of these. So it's at 60,000. Then when you compare it to some of the Rebellion epics, it's about double that, right? You see them anywhere in like the 30 to 35,000 range when it comes to epics. Actually, Torhilo the Frozen. This is not a. Oh, this is a reward card. Whoops. Where is Rebellion? There's Rebellion. Oh, you know what? Never mind. This is significantly higher than Rebellion. I was looking at reward cards. Either way, 60,000 BCX. Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's too little. Again, my math is not final. What I'm trying to get across here is the point, and I think that the team would be able to come up with a better way to kind of price this out appropriately. Maybe epics are just not the best, right? Maybe you do commons, maybe you do rares, maybe you do doubles, right? Instead of just spreading this across 4 cards, we saw the last promo event be 2 cards, right? 1 legendary, one rare. And so if you do that, all of a sudden it's like even fewer BCX. So here's the thing. At the end of the day, we're paying for 8 cards. And when I say we, it's the DAO paying for 8 cards, which I don't want to make any assumptions about the workload that the team has, but they're putting together all these sets anyway. If they're going to get paid to set aside, a couple of cards, anywhere from 4 to 8 cards over the course of the year to launch, again, they would have to be compensated for it to make sense, but it would make it so that we could actually get access. You could use vouchers as this access token to all of these awesome cards, right? That would be coming out on a quarterly-ish basis. The team would get their somewhat guaranteed revenue, right, to cover these, and then we would be able to pull away with, I don't know, I mean, hopefully burning all of the vouchers out there, because keep in mind, you could still keep voucher utility for everything else, right? If people see that, all of a sudden, hey, even if vouchers are at 5 cents or even if vouchers are at 10 cents, but the earnings are so good because SPS is going up or because, less people are playing and I'm getting more SPS, they could still burn vouchers for energy, right? Or they'll be using vouchers and burning them to buy Rebellion packs, or maybe when Soulbound Unlocking goes live, they'll have that utility there where they can get half off. So what I'm trying to do is just create it so that there's there's promo events throughout the year that eat up all 14.6 million vouchers. And then on top of that, you still have the additional daily utility, because for the most part, we've actually been somewhat even, right, with the launch of the pass. Oh, and I completely forgot the Wild Season Pass. That could be another one, right, where people just use vouchers for that. We're sitting at 12.1 million vouchers. We haven't really gone much higher than this, and we're just we'll have to wait and see how much we burn on the next season, but we're still over half a season away. So I'm rambling quite a bit at this point. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. I just wanted to share with you a couple of different ideas that I had for vouchers that I could present as an alternative to what Crypto Eater's trying to do. Again, I'm not trying to go against his proposals. These are just other ideas that I'm putting out there. If he puts those out to a vote, I mean, depending on the details, I'm leaning towards voting yes, just because I think drastic changes are needed. But with the amount of sentiment that still wants to see something from vouchers, these are just some ideas that I'm hoping you guys can take, run with, make better, and we'll see how things shake out. But I do think vouchers we need to do something about vouchers. Right? At the end of the day, we need to do something about vouchers, because DEC being this far below peg and not having the demand that it should have is really getting hurt by the fact that vouchers are just getting minted into oblivion. So that is all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.